about to have a storm. So, so it's a bit dark. Welcome, everyone. So I had a very interesting question on Friday, after Friday Ripples, from Neil, actually. And Neil was asking about how wind cold, we were talking about wind cold and viruses affecting the DNA. How does the wind cold get there? Because we always think of wind cold as affecting the sinew channels, not the 8 extra channels. And he's absolutely right. Of course, it's a very interesting question. And of course, there are different categories of viruses. There's severe wind cold and there's mild wind cold. So the way I think of it is that mild wind cold is for minor change, right? So it will elicit, it will elicit a minor clearing of mucus. It will assist in minor adaptations, and it seeks us to have some rest. Whereas major wind cold, of course, it affects the way level, but because pandemics, which would be very, very major wind cold, is seeking to change the DNA, it really bypasses the sinew level, which is what we're seeing with COVID. People are not complaining about sneezing. They're not complaining about the normal wind cold signs and symptoms, sneezing, tight back of neck, minor chills, and tiredness. They're not complaining about those things. Initially, they're complaining immediately about Shaoyang type symptoms, like extreme lethargy and lots of coughing as it goes past the Taiyang zone into the Shaoyang zone. And so when the gallbladder channel is the channel, or the Shaoyang zone, if you want to put it that way, is the primary zone affected at the onset of a wind cold, it's telling us that it's not destined for small change, it's destined for major change, and that change is enacted through the gallbladder channel or through Shaoyang, if you want to put it that way, depends on what lens you want to put on it, and it goes directly to Yang Wei Mai. Yang Wei Mai is responsible for the mediation of Wei Qi. So it distributes Wei Qi on the exterior, or it ensures that Wei Qi is distributed on the exterior, meaning literally the exterior, the musculoskeletal system and the skin, and also the interior of the gut, which in a sense is exterior. But Yang Wei Mai has entree to the Yuan level at governor vessel 16, which is, as you know, the point at the back of the head, you know, about this far below the top of that V in your skull. So it's really, it's at the cerebellum, and it's on Du Mai. So Du Mai is an 8 extra channel that governs the distribution of Yang Qi, which is a subset of Yuan Qi, which is constitutional Qi. And from there, it moves down Du Mai to Du Fu, and that's where it enters Chong Mai and affects the DNA. So it's an excellent question. Not all wind colds are created alike, and this one that we're experiencing globally, seeking global change of the DNA, is really not treated with the sinews as a normal regular wind cold would be. So Neil, I hope that answers your question, and if you have a look at the signs and symptoms, especially the psychological signs and symptoms of Yang Wei Mai, they speak about resistance to moving forward, fear of the future, lack of optimism related to the future, fear of death, right? All these symptoms that we are seeing with COVID is where Yang Wei Mai is out of balance. That's why I'm suggesting that COVID, now I know this is an incredibly loaded subject, but we have to find a way, I believe, of allowing COVID or finding a way for COVID to work its way through the populace and minimize the casualties. And that means to slow it down. And Jan wrote to me yesterday about masks, and that's where the masks fit in. There's no way a mask is going to stop COVID, but it will definitely slow it down. And that way the population can cope with its change more easily. Countries that appear to have locked it out entirely, Australia and New Zealand being two examples, and I really hope that they do extremely well, but they are missing this, what may turn out to be a piece, like a priming for something more serious. And so as each of these if everything is divine, then each pandemic will provide another jigsaw piece for the DNA so that we are upgraded and upgraded and upgraded so that the opportunity to experience life is maximized. Let's see, now Neil's typing me a note. He said the other day that all wind cold scenarios involve viruses. I thought that I heard something like that, perhaps misheard. Yes, wind cold is ancient jargon for viral infection, yes. Wind heat will be ancient jargon for bacterial infection, and wind damp will be ancient jargon for fungal infection. So the ripple that we're putting out into the pond is one for, I'm very well aware that this is very loaded in the culture, but the ripple that we put out in the pond is one of calm acceptance of the change that needs to happen and confidence that we can manage it in a way that minimizes pain and minimizes loss. And so the points would be to top and tail that channel. So bladder 63, the metal gate. May we all be able to go outside and breathe air with confidence. Open our metal gates, metal meaning the exterior. And governor vessel 16, which relaxes the sinews and allows change to be incorporated into Dumai and therefore down into Chong, and for the peaceful assimilation of this change that we're being invited to incorporate. Are we all on board with that one? Do we like that? We like that one. Okay, great. Thanks so much for being here. Let's get to work.